That's better. As most of you probably know, archery is a shooting sport, and shooting is a test of accuracy. That said, there are two different terms which people often mistakenly use interchangeably: accuracy and precision. And what you may not realize is that these words are actually different things. And because people sometimes misunderstand these differences, it can lead to misunderstanding when people talk about accuracy and precision, and especially in measuring success or skill. While you will find the same differences in definitions for mathematics and science, let's talk about just the archery side, and we'll also talk about the implications of being inaccurate or imprecise. Accuracy can be understood to mean, am I hitting what I'm aiming at? That means if I want to hit the goal or the bullseye, then hitting it means I'm accurate. Precision is about consistency, and in archery, that is reflected in how tight the grouping is. So let's look at the ideal of being accurate and precise. So this spread shows that I am both hitting what I want to hit, and that is the center of the target, which means I'm accurate, and it's all grouping inside the center of the ring. Therefore, for the purpose of this test, you could say I'm precise. Now let's look at something that is accurate but imprecise. In this case, I'm still hitting what I'm aiming at. The arrows are generally going towards the middle, so I'm still accurate. However, as you can see by the wider spread, I'm not as precise. Is it possible to be precise but inaccurate? Of course. In this case, I'm still aiming at the center of the target, but my shots are landing far to the left, so I'm not accurate. However, because all the arrows are grouping very closely together, I'm still precise. And lastly, not accurate, not precise, which for most of us is normal. As you can see, I'm not really hitting what I want to hit. I've got arrows flying everywhere, so I'm not accurate. And the spread is huge, so I'm also clearly not precise. Of course, I'm kind of exaggerating the whole inaccurate, imprecise thing. But in doing so, you may also recognize the causes of a loss of accuracy or precision. Accuracy is almost always the user. Unless the bow is dysfunctional, the bow is accurate. It will hit what you are aiming at. But the question is, are you actually aiming at the right place? And hence the point that accuracy is in your control. If you know where you are aiming and you know the right technique, then you should be able to get the arrow on target, hence accuracy. Precision is a little different. It's a combination of both the user and the tool. The user can affect precision due to inconsistencies in technique. For example, not drawing to the correct anchor each time, or not drawing with the right length each time. These things will cause variations in the shot and therefore a loss of precision. However, the bow can also be a factor in why you might not be as precise. An example how this might happen is if you use the wrong spined arrows with your bow. No matter what you do or how good you are or how accurate you are, the arrows will chronically float off to the left or to the right. And that's nothing to do with your technique, but more to do with what the arrow and bow are doing. Therefore, reaching the ideal goal of being both accurate and precise means that you need to understand your technique and your equipment. There are a couple of implications that we need to understand when talking about archery using these two terms. One area is when we compare certain styles of archery against each other. For example, comparing traditional archery or thumb draw archery to modern Olympic archery or compound archery. All archers can be accurate. However, some techniques and some tools are inherently more precise than others. If you are using an instinctive aiming method or using gap shooting, inherently it is going to be less precise. The variations are greater and it's more difficult to identify an exact point of aim without a clear reference point. In contrast, if you're using a sight, you should expect to be much more precise because the tools allow you to have a more consistent reference point each and every time. Also factor in the materials and design of the bow. A traditional wooden bow will have more variation due to things like temperature and humidity. Therefore, it won't be as precise as a compound bow, which is mechanical. The arrows will also be a factor in the archer's precision. Traditional, long, large wooden shafts will be more affected by the wind than a modern carbon aluminium barrel-shaped design. Again, this is not the fault of the archer. The archer may be very accurate, but the tools they use might be less precise. And because the tools are less precise, a traditional or barebow shooter should not be expected to shoot at the same level as a modern recurve or compound shooter. Likewise, somebody who wants to shoot high scores at longer distances will likely choose the more precise tool, hence why people will go towards modern recurve or compound, because it is actually impossible to score high with that precision at that distance with a traditional bow. Another thing to remember is when you start introducing things like moving targets or other dynamic challenges, because while these things may be really cool, they are testing things beyond just accuracy and precision. It may be things like timing and reflexes. Ultimately, if you can hit the target, then you are accurate. However, someone shooting a moving target isn't testing precision, because they're not trying to aim for a specific spot on the target, they're just trying to hit the target. The reason why shooting at moving targets or thrown targets isn't particularly interesting to most target archers is because they're not interested in testing accuracy at short distance and dynamic targets. They're more interested in testing for accuracy and precision. In conclusion, accuracy and precision are different things. Accuracy is hitting what you want to hit. Precision is how close your grouping is. People who do archery will most likely want to test both accuracy and precision. Anyway, this is NUSensei. I hope you found this interesting and helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.